What's going on, gamers? Nameless here, and today we're going to be doing a 2-month review on Destiny. I bought this game as the bundle package with the PS4, got it home, hooked it up, put it in, and as soon as the game came on, first thing I thought, the art looked awesome. You can tell from the beginning though that they took a little bit of Halo and put the art into Destiny, which is okay, especially if you're a die-hard Halo fan or just love playing the game Halo. It does attract a lot of people, and I can see why. One of the best parts I thought about the art though was when you were on the moon, you can look at the Earth and actually see the Earth rotating in the background. I thought that was pretty badass. Also, when you're in orbit and you're over the moon or Earth or Venus or Mars or whatever, you can actually see that rotating in the background and little things going on the surface, being a storm or whatever. I thought that was pretty cool. The game interface, easy from the start, easy to learn, easy to figure out, very smooth. I really enjoyed that. The one thing I did not like though was the storyline and the lack of content that they give you. It leaves you wondering. When you first put in the game, you are awakened after about 1,000 years of being dead, and they do not fill you in on that 1,000 years. Especially when you see the Seeker and he'll tell you from the start, oh well, you know, I can't really talk about it right now because it's too long. Personally, I think it was a stupid marketing idea by Bungie and or Activision to do this. There's a lot to be talked about here. There's a lot to be explained. They don't tell you about the different factions from the Fallen, the Hive, or how they got there, or the Cabal and where they came from, or any of that really. They don't tell you about the Great War or the Traveler and the history behind the Traveler. They don't explain any of that to you, and I find that as a bad idea and a mistake on their behalf. Granted, there are 2 more expansion packs coming out, but still, they need to give you a little bit more in the beginning. And I don't know if I want to pay $34.99 just to fill in on the storyline. But later on, I started playing the multiplayer. At first, I found it very easy to connect with friends that I was already friends with on the PlayStation Network that was playing the game. It was very difficult to connect with other players that was not my friends already on the PlayStation Network. There is no open chat with other players. It makes it very difficult to communicate with just random people in the game. There is no social part to this game unless you're already friends with the people. I don't get that. I don't understand it. Maybe they'll make it easier later on in the game, but right now it is very difficult. They only allow 16 players in the tower, that is where everybody gathers to get more armor, gear, whatever it is. 16 players, that's it. That's a lot of room on that tower though, to just have 16 players. They've got to be able to fill in more players in the tower and to be able to communicate with them. Playing the PvP part of it, I liked it. I noticed though that a lot of my friends and a lot of other people that I talked to didn't really like it, especially in the very beginning, just because it was very hard for a lot of people that are lower levels. A lot of people that just leveled up to 26 and above, you know, they're rocking around with legendary gear, maybe an exotic weapon or one exotic piece of gear, and being a level 16 versus a level 25 with all legendary gear and weapons, you stand really no chance. Your kill death ratio is probably going to be somewhere around 0.02 or something. I mean, you might get a kill or 2 in there, you never know, but still it is very difficult for lower level guys to play with the higher level guys because they mix them in together, and it doesn't make it fun for the lower level people. There is also no trade option for people, none whatsoever. There's been a few times where I play as a Titan, and I've gotten loot gear for a hunter or a warlock, and my buddy, who is a warlock, and another buddy that's a hunter, has gotten stuff for Titans, but we can't trade them. Instead, we have to dismantle them for random stuff like Ascendant Shards or Bolts of Light or whatever. But still, when people need certain gear to get into the raid or just to level up your light, there's no trade option, and that kind of sucks on that aspect. They need to implement some kind of trade option, I think, into the game to make it a little bit more appealing to some players. The end game content to this point is really just grinding with low cap levels for Vanguard marks or Crucible marks, and they only have one raid at this point. So basically every week you're doing the same strikes, and I think there's like 5, maybe 8 strikes at this time in the game. So you're just repeating all those over and over and over again, doing the public events, which are they're the same thing basically on every planet, and you just do those over and over and over again every week. And if you're lucky, if you're very lucky, you might be able to get squeezed into a raid group if you know 5 other people online at the time, or if you're on some forum where people are trying to form a group really quick on their computers or on their phone, and you can hook up with them. Other than that, that's all they've got at this point, and that kind of gets old after a little while. Unless you like grinding, then there you go. Have at it, have fun, knock yourself out. But for what I've been hearing, Expansion 1, The Dark Below, should be released around December of 2014. That's what they're saying. They're not giving a specific date at this time. They're just saying December of 2014. Now, if you haven't already bought the expansion bundle package, you're looking at $19.99 for one, or $34.99 for both of them, which is a $5 discount if you want to buy both of them. Personally, I wouldn't even waste my money on buying both of them at this point. But they are saying with The Dark Below, they will have new missions on the moon, and they'll go a little bit more into the storyline. Now, I haven't heard anything about them opening up Saturn or Jupiter or another planet. I would love to see them do that. It might actually grab my attention a little bit more to play the game a little bit more if they do that. But at this point, I might spend the $20 to get the first expansion. Depending how that goes, I highly doubt I will buy the second expansion, but that's just me. I'm just saying, you might be different. You might be a hardcore Destiny fan, so pay the $35 if you are, and just get it out of the way. Bungie does say that this will be a 10-year game, but personally I doubt it. I don't see this game making it over 2 years, especially when you've got other games coming out. Like most recently, you'll be having COD Advanced Warfare coming out soon, and then next year you'll have the Division coming out, which I think is going to be off the hook when that game comes out. Just to recap and rate, I give this game a 6.5 out of 10 due to its lack of storyline and community interface. This is supposed to be an open world game, and when you're open world, you need communication with other players. You need to be able to socialize with random players that you already don't know, and this game makes it a little difficult for that to happen. The lack of good loot drops and the heavy grind that you go through for the lack of what you get out of it. I don't mind grinding, but I like a big payoff when I have to grind hard. And this game really doesn't give it to you at this point. So, and there's only one raid, like I said before. I mean, you just got to go with that. I hope Bungie gets this game straightened out quick, because I think this game has a whole lot of potential. Thinking that this game will last 10 years, I think is only a dream though. Especially when, like I said before, you got games like Division coming out next year. And all the trailers and the stuff that I've read and the people that I've talked to about Division, I think this game's going to take over open world content, especially on consoles, for sure next year around this time. I believe that a lot of open world MMO players will drift to the Division when that game does come out. Plus, saying that this will be a 10-year game, the only game personally that I have played and witnessed that can actually test that time was World of Warcraft. I don't play it anymore. I did play it for 7 years. I don't see this game being able to reach that level at all. So, well, thanks guys for watching this video. I'm Nameless, and keep your controllers charged. Have a good one.